Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Virtual Sim Leagues, here for the start of Season 11 in the Tier 2 Championship. My name is, of course, I've been Mike, going to be taking you through the action this evening, and what a track to go racing at for the start of a brand new season. We head to Japan, to the Suzuka International Racing Course, and it's going to be an absolute thriller. Around a 5.8 kilometer track in length has been on the F1 calendar since 1987, and of course we've seen some iconic races here in real life. Who can ever forget Prost and Senna coming together? And not only that, I believe there was a Michael Schumacher going off when he lost the world title. I believe that was in 97, if my memory serves me correctly. But yeah, an absolutely incredible track, the only figure of 8 track on the calendar, and we are in for an absolute treat. And of course we're going to look at the drivers that we have here tonight. We have 13 drivers in the lobby thus far, but we're going to look at the team. So of course, in the Red Bulls we have Acorn and we have Jack Craig. In the Red Bull racing cars, in the Ferraris we have Tony and Ryan Berry. In the Mercedes we have Excite and this is going to test my pronunciation skills. Wasabis Nava. I can bet you any money I have pronounced that and I've absolutely butchered it, but I'm going to roll with it. And of course in the McLarens we've got Speed Newgarden and Speed Y Racer. In the McLarens obviously we got ERT Jordan and Speed Risky. In the Williams, the Aston Martin is occupied by Kev Rusky and N89R_A, and there is a lone driver here somewhere. Oh yes, the Alpine of Stephen, the FRL driver, the lone Alpine driver here tonight. And of course let's bring everything up to the screen for us all, and the first man out on track is Jack Craig. So we'll stay on board with him for the entirety of his lap, and he's going to take us through a lap of the Japanese Grand Prix of Suzuka. And honestly, around here you need to have so much concentration, especially in that first sector where one tiny mistake and you could lose it all. So hopefully these guys keep their calm, keep their cool, keep their composure as we head on a flying lap with Jack Craig. In fact, we'll actually go on board with him as he comes through the Casio Triangle to get his lap underway. Is full throttle DRS wide open now on the rundown in turn number 1. This is where you put one foot wrong, you are going around, and you can see Craig being very tentative there through the S curves. And now as we climb up the hill, we go through the Dunlop curve, and now we have a look at this first sector split as we approach the Degner, and it's all valid there through the Degners, and on the traction on the exit it is nice and smooth. Now to the hairpin, breaking down. This is all about the rotation and the traction out of the corner. Get a good traction, get a good rotation, and you are golden. And now is all about that run towards Spoon curve as we enter turn 13 now at the start of Spoon, and then of course through the exit. Foot to the floor once again for Jack Craig as we head towards the middle sector split and towards the iconic 130R. Flat out left-hander coming up, 130R absolutely nailed. Now into the Casio Triangle comes the Red Bull, and it's all about getting a good line, getting a good exit, minimise the distance, and to the line he'll come, and it's a 29.1 for Jack Craig to get underway here. And that is not exactly the message that we do want to see coming up in the top left. Ryan Berry crosses the line. He's done a 31.4 on a set of the medium compound tyres. I believe we have who's next on our lap? I believe we have, yes, it was Sab, and he is on a invalidated lap, so he's not going quick at all. We've got O'Stephen on a lap. Of course, he's the next man to come across the line. He does have a Mercedes in behind him, and that is, of course, Excite. So we'll see how O'Stephen does as he approaches the line. Takes a wide line, and it's a 31.3, and Excite pops up there with a 29.3, but it's immediately beaten by the likes of Acorn and Speed Risky, as the times are coming in thick and fast now. As we look, I believe Speed Y Racer will be the next man to cross the line, so we'll stay on board with the McLaren as he breaks down into the Casio triangle. All about getting a good exit. Oh, big snap of oversteer there for Speed Y Racer, but to the line he'll come. It's a 29.2. He's definitely lost quite a bit of time there as Jack peels off into the pits. I believe we'll be having the Aston Martin of Kev coming through, but Jordan there, what a lap from ERT Jordan. 28.9 on the medium compound tyres. I like to reiterate on the medium compound tyres. The Williams puts it on pole position, but not for long. It is Kev that takes provisional pole with a 28.7. So Kev responding immediately. We got Saab now, currently down in P13, but he is coming to the end of his lap through the Casio triangle. Runs a little bit deep on entry, but should be there or thereabouts. No, actually no, he lost a lot of time there. There we go, I was completely mistaken, as N89R_A is getting himself going for another lap, and we're in the opening few laps, and now we've seen, I'm surprised we're seeing the mediums, not more mediums being used. I'm surprised we're seeing a lot of drivers immediately on the soft compound. I would have thought everyone doing their installation laps would have done one on the set of the mediums, but only 3 drivers gone for it, and as of course Jordan currently up in P2 with a 28.9, Ryan in P7 on a 29.2, and O'Stephen on a 31.3 down in P11. 2 drivers to yet set a lap time, and that is N89R_A and Speed New Garden. Of course, we are looking at the Aston Martin as he is coming through Spoon right now, and he is looking to get a good lap time on the board. He is running low on fuel though, so he may end up peeling off into the pits. But we'll have a look and see what is. Yeah. I don't think he's on a flying lap here. Yeah, I think he's going to peel off into the pits, and so. Oh, actually, no, I am mistaken. He's going to come to the line, and it's a 30.1. Okay. So he does get a lap on the board. Speed New Garden out there on a out lap right now. We got Jordan, I believe, 4 temps up in the first sector. Jordan flying as we come on board with him in Spoon. Of course, he is out there. He is 4 temps up. He is running low on ERS. It's going to definitely compromise him as we come down the long straight towards 130R. But he is over 2 temps up. How much time is he going to lose? As his the rear of his car absolutely flashing red, indicating he has less than 10%. And you can see that he has decided to peel off into the pits, and he does not want to be out there again. We got Jack Craig on a flying lap, and he has invalidated as he's gone off at the top of Dunlop curve, and that is not what you want to see. We have Speed Racer coming into the pits. I believe Speed Newgarden is out there on a fast lap, so we'll stay on board with the McLaren. As we approach the first sector split. Comment in the chat, we got Flexi showing support for the man sitting on provisional pole right now, and that is Kev Rusky. Support for Kev in the chat from Flexi, and there's things you'd have to see, and it's a good lap so far from Kev, but Jordan being 2 tenths off on a set of mediums, and he did show that he could go 4 tenths quicker on the mediums in sector 1. It's going to be a difficult task for Kev to hold on to that provisional pole position, but he will be out there trying to get the job done. Speed Newgarden is slightly off of what we would be expecting, a quick lap in the middle sector, but we'll come to the line now with Speed Newgarden. I think he's just getting a lap time on the board, and it is all the 9s out for Speed Newgarden. It's at 1:29.999, and that's a big improvement from O'Stephen in the first sector. A second up for the Alpine as he heads towards the hairpin now, getting the brake in, getting the car rotated. Absolutely fantastic. Good traction on the exit as well. This is looking good from FRL O'Stephen. Of course, he set his lap time on a set in the mediums, and it was just an installation, but oh, he's not got the turn in right there, and in fact it's gone horribly wrong for O'Stephen there. I mean, on the entry, I'm having a little look on the broadcast camera, because the entry there may have looked like he didn't have a front wing, but he does. Tony half a second up in the middle sector as he comes through towards the Casio triangle. And the Ferrari gets himself up there. Big snap of oversteer on the exit. He's able to hold it well and crosses the line, and it's going to be a P4. A lot of time lost in that moment. Acorn, as Risky actually improves with a 28.2, so the Williams takes hold of provisional pole position. 6 tenths up for Acorn. A good Casio triangle. He could be putting Risky under pressure here. It could be all Risky for provisional pole as Acorn to the line, and he's going to do a 28.5. Kev out there on a fast lap as well. Of course, he was the man who was on provisional pole. Coming out to the middle sector split now. What can Kev do? And he is 6 tenths up. This is big from Kev. Could be on to retake that provisional pole position. Through the Casio triangle. Getting a good line there. To the line comes Kev. Is he going to take provisional pole back? He is, by just under 0.04 of a second. We got Jordan out there on a set of mediums, still on the same set of mediums. We got Tony on a cool down lap. We got Speed Y Racer just starting the lap, and he is coming through the S's now. Yellow flags out everywhere as drivers on their cool down lap are getting out of the way, and you can see just how risky it is touching these curves for Speed Y Racer, as he has to navigate it extremely well. And yeah, he's backed out. He has backed out. He knows that he wasn't as smooth in the first sector as he would have liked, and that has definitely compromised him. As we have been joined by the AlphaTauri of Julie Show. So we have 14 drivers in the lobby now. Julie Show turning up. Take a spot here in qualifying. Of course, in terms of the odds on who is going to be winning the constructors, according to the insider info. It looks like the Red Bulls are the favourites to take the Constructors' Championships, a 3-1 odds. And of course you've got McLaren on a 4-1 odds, and that is going to be very interesting seeing those two teams going toe-to-toe each other right now. Honestly, it looks like the Williams are the team to beat, with Speed Risky and ERT Jordan, but the Red Bulls are thereabouts. The McLarens that need to step up as well, but Craig there, 28.7 for the Red Bull, gets himself up into P4. Good lap from him. We got Excite coming in towards the Casio Triangle. He's going to be starting a lap, I believe. Just over 3 minutes to go in the session. Is Kev Rusky out on top for the Aston Martins. Speed Risky will be joining him on the front row as it currently stands just under 0.04 of a second separating those two drivers as we come through Dunlop Curve with M Excite. 2.5 temps up in sector 1 as we go through the Degners. And now towards the hairpin, all about picking your braking zone here and getting the car rotated and smooth on the traction coming out, which I'm excited is. We approach Spoon Curve now. Honestly, this second part of Spoon is more tricky than the first part to get right. Because not only have you got to get your turning right, you've got to get on the power coming out of there at the perfect time. And you can see half a second up for M Excite. This will get him into the 28s as long as he can have a good Casio Triangle. Until the line comes M Excite, and he will cross the line with a 28.7 up in the P4. He splits the Red Bulls. Good lap there from M Excite. Speed Newgarden currently down in P11. He's coming to the line and it's up to P7 at 28.9 for him. Speed Y Racer is out of the session. We're going to go on board with a Red Bull that's approaching it now, and that is Acorn. Oh my god, how has that happened there? Speed Y Racer has lost it in a very unusual place, and not quite sure how he's managed that. Hopefully we get a word from Speed Y Racer in how he lost it there, but that's a very strange place to lose it. As we stay on board with Acorn for the time being. We do have Risky out there on a fast lap, and in fact he might be the car. Oh my god, we just gone on board with him at the wrong time as he loses control of his car on the exit of turn 2, and just before starting the SS he needs to be alert and aware as could be cars approaching. Acorn just starting his lap. Jordan through Spoon now. Good speed through the exit there from Jordan. Let's see what the middle sector split is saying. Of course, he's done that lap on a set of medium, so we're expecting this to be quicker, and it's only a tenth quicker. With the Casio Triangle, takes a little bit too much curve, and that is an invalidation, and the checker flag has fallen. So Jordan won't be improving. We do have a Ferrari of Ryan Berry coming to the line now. 7 tenths up in the middle sector. Ryan Berry to the line. And it's up to P3 for Ryan Berry. And now we have Sab to the line. He is miles down on his lap time. Speed Newgarden into the pits. We have a Red Bull of Acorn. That will be the next man to the line. Let's see where his middle sector split is saying. He's 8 tenths down. So Acorn not improving. Speed Risky not improving as well. Excite down on his time, and I believe that could be the end of the session. Tony and O'Steven 9 attempts up in the middle sector. This could be big from O'Steven. Get himself well up towards the front end of the grid here with a good Castillo triangle. O'Steven to the line, and he's up in the P7 there, the Alpine. And yeah, Tony is down on his lap time, and that's going to bring an end to the qualifying session. It is Kev Rusky that does take the inaugural pole position here of the season in Tier 2 of VSL. He takes the first pole of season 11. Fantastic from him. And it is a 28.256 from Kev Rusky. Just under 4 hundredths of a second quicker than Speed Risky in second place, who joins him on the front row. Of course, Ryan, Berry and Acorn will line the stern on the second row, as now we get to run through the order one more time for everyone in the stream. And here we go. It is Kev Rusky who takes pole position by just under 4 hundredths of a second ahead of Speed Risky, who joins him on the front row. It is Ryan Berry in the Ferrari in P3 on the second row, joined by the Red Bull of Acorn in P4. Excite gets himself up in the P5 and will be joined by the second Red Bull of Jack Craig. The Alpine of O'Steven in P7, with Jordan on the mediums in P8 in the second Williams. The McLaren of Speed Newgarden in 9th, and Tony in the Ferrari rounding out the top 10. And outside the top 10 we have Speed Racer N89R_A, W Saab, and obviously Julie Show rounding out the final grid position. So to everyone in the stream right now, hopefully you all having a fantastic Wednesday evening. Make sure to get your predictions in the chat, in the stream, on who you think is going to be walking away with the first win of the brand new season here in VSL. If you're unfamiliar with my voice, my name is Ivory Mike. I'm going to be taking you through the action here tonight. Of course, next week I won't be here. You guys will be joined by you'll be joined by Rando, who will be your main commentator for the season here in Tier 2. I am filling in tonight, but hopefully this may be the best race of the season. Hopefully, I mean, I do like Japan. I really do like Japan as a track. It is one of my favorites on the F1 game, and of course one of the favorites for me to watch in real life, as we have seen so many iconic moments around this track. As mentioned earlier, Prost, Senna, Schumacher, going off and taking himself out of the race, trying to turn in on, I believe it was Villeneuve, in towards turn number 1, and it didn't work out for him. Of course, we remember what was it? It was 2006, Alonso chasing down Michael Schumacher. Of course, 2005, Kimi Räikkönen with that fantastic drive. A lot of iconic moments here in Suzuka. Of course, we are taking a small break, letting the drivers catch their breath before jumping into the race, so it gives me a bit of time to communicate with you guys in the chat. We got Stephen here saying mudded the last run, could have been P3. Stephen not exactly happy with his final run out there in qualifying. More on the table for Stephen, and it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on in the race. And this track, consistency is what is needed, and you got to build the consistency around this track. You can't just go flying into it. And of course, drivers ready up, and now we are on the formation lap. Let's have a look at the tyre strategy throughout the grid. The top four all opting for a set of the medium compound tyres, and Jack Craig deciding to opt for, I have no idea what he opted for, but he has been disqualified from the formation lap. It is a soft tyre on M Excite. Jack Craig on a set of mediums, and his mediums all the way down to W Sabiznova in P13, and then hards for Julie Show at the back. As we got Jordan in the chat saying a car got in his way at the S's, so that is why Jordan was unable to improve. A bit of traffic holding him up in qualifying from the sounds of it. Very difficult to get out of the way in the S's. Not a lot of places to go, but if you are going to be getting out of the way of a driver in the S's, sometimes it is better to just jump onto the grass. And there is the possible race strategies. It is saying lap 11 to 13 pitting from the mediums onto a set of hards, and it's going to be interesting to see how these guys on the soft tyres run, because the soft tyres around here usually go around 6-7 laps on the previous game cycles. I haven't done much running around Suzuka in terms of race practice around here, so I'm not entirely sure how good the softs are around this track. However, I would assume that it'd be a soft hard strategy for Excite and W Saviva, as that was a very strange incident there with him Excite warming up his tyres, loses his car, and that's a bit of a love tap there with the barrier. Of course, everyone will now be taking their grid positions as we await for those 5 red lights. 14 drivers here tonight, 27 laps of Suzuka awaiting, all 14. Ryan Berry disqualified from the formation lap, and so is Risky and most of the lobby. And here we go. We wait for those 5 red lights. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights are out, and we are underway for a brand new season here in VSL. A good start already from Kev, as Acorn already putting pressure on Ryan Berry, as Acorn now up into P2. Great start for Acorn, getting himself ahead of Racer, and oh my god, Racer and Acorn there get very close on the entry into the S's. In the midfield, it's all looking clean so far as they all follow each other. Line astern coming up towards Dunlop Curve. As it currently stands, a great start from Kev. He's already pulling away and almost out of that second, and he is out of that second window now because he has a 1.1 second lead. But here comes M Excite around the outside of Speed Risky, and he gets himself up into P3. Caution in the background, someone has lost it. I believe that is possibly Tony that has gone around, and there's a big old train from Acorn down now to, I believe, N89R is in this train, as Craig and Stephen there scrapping it out. And as that's going on, we got Acorn being overtaken by M Excite on those soft tyres. So M Excite getting himself into a fantastic position early on the soft tyres, as Speed Risky there takes an alternative line through the Casio triangle, and he's going to lose out of position to Ryan Berry here. Fastest lap of the race so far does go to Kev Rusky, as it would be expected on the opening lap, as Acorn sticks in behind M Excite for the time being. Stephen on the back of Speed Risky. Now Risky, after making that mistake in the Casio triangle, is under a bit of pressure. Jordan getting through on Jack Craig, and it looks like Jack Craig potentially trying to come back at Jordan here in the middle of the S's, and honestly it's not a very prudent overtaking opportunity in the S's, but if you can get it done, you can get it done. As Risky, Risky, we just jumped on board with him. He's had a big moment coming on the exit of the Degnas, and a big moment for him as Jordan under pressure from Craig, Jack Craig, as he's trying to get back through and ahead of the Williams. He's getting a nice little slipstream. He's going to have a little look to the inside possibly. Oh, he's not going to risk it. Oh, the door was left open for Jack Craig, but he hasn't committed to the move. Gonna line it up now, potentially have a little look down the inside into the Casio triangle. Of course, it is a timing glitch in terms of the time trials, as I can tell you right now, N89RA is not 1 minute and 32 seconds behind. And virtual safety car has been deployed, and I believe that is for Julie's show, as losing it through 130R there, Julie, and that is not what you like to see. And obviously it is a virtual safety car, not a full course safety car. So in terms of the drivers in the pit lane right now of WSAB and Jules show, and they are not going to get the benefit of being able to close up to the back of the pack. They are going to get a shortened pit stop time, but they're not going to be able to close to the back of the pack. Virtual safety car, we are waiting for it to end to get this race underway and get back under green flag conditions. Lap 3 of 27. Kev Rusky pulled away from the start fantastically, and oh my god, Ryan Berry with a drive-through penalty. Same for Speed Risky, and it looked like potentially Ryan Berry might have hit the back of Acorn there. Speed Y Racer gets himself up in the P5 ahead of Speed Risky. We got Stephen there under pressure from Jordan down the inside at Spoon. Take your hat off, Jordan down the inside, gets the job done. Up into P7 goes to Williams. Incredible stuff. And yet 3 drivers with a drive-through penalty is Ryan Berry, Speed Risky, and N89RA with a drive-through penalty here. And honestly, for them, yeah, there we go, Ryan Berry straight into the pits to serve it. Same with Speed Risky, and that releases Speed Y Racer and Jordan to go chasing after Acorn now for that P3. M Excite on the back of Kev Rusky now. And remember, he is on the soft compound tyres versus the mediums, so he should still have the grip advantage, but he needs to get past and get clear of Kev while he still has the advantage. The longer he stays behind him, the less of advantage he will have. Speedway Racer within that 1 second of Acorn as we go through the Degnas. Oh, getting a bit onto the outside curve in there, Speedway Racer, and that's going to allow Jordan to close inside. He's got Stephen directly behind him, trying to get that position back. Stephen in the Alpine. And they put the Williams under pressure. We got the Red Bull of Jack Craig on the back of this train as well. The Newgarden under a little bit of pressure from W. Sabit Niver for the P12 in this race. And in fact, scratch 3 second time penalty and a horrible second Degna there for Sab. And that is going to be heartbreaking for him. He's lost a huge amount of time there to Speed Newgarden, and that gives Newgarden a bit of a breathing room, bit of space to breathe as Jack Craig losing out slightly, coming through the Casio triangle. Jordan and O'Steven still in the DRS train. Speedway Racer closing up to Acorn. It looks like Acorn closing up to MXite. MXite has dropped off massively from Kev Risky. What has gone on here? Has he made a big mistake as Risky picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane? Risky with a big mistake there. Into the pits, picks himself up a time penalty, and absolutely heartbreak for Risky though. MXite has dropped off massively compared to Kev. It was only moments ago he was within 1 second. He's now over 2 seconds behind. He's got Acorn 1.5 seconds behind him now. Speedway Racer Jordan and O'Steven still keeping close with each other. Jack Craig made that mistake in the Casio triangle and hasn't been able to close back in, but a good run out with Spoon, and he might just sneak that DRS, and he does get a good run out with Spoon, but he is losing a small bit of time here as he dips back over that 1 second window. A lot of ERS to play with for Jordan. Speedway Racer down to just above 30% on his battery. We got Acorn on about 45%. MXite down to 30% also as Jordan closing in on Speedway Racer. Just naturally this is, as Speedway Racer takes a wide line there through the first 2 corners, and that allows Jordan just Speedway Racer they just got onto the inside curve, and you saw the car almost go away from him. Good reactions from Speedway Racer to make sure he doesn't lose the car completely there. It's very easily done as Jordan tries to close up to the back. Seems like the middle sector, he's just not got the turning that he needs to close up to the back of Speedway Racer. But look at this, Acorn, Speedway Racer, Jordan and O'Steven all closing in on that man in the Mercedes up ahead of him. That is MXite, and this could be an exciting battle with the tyres dropping off for those soft compound tyres. It is going to bring an interesting battle for P2. So just got a bunch of Acorn up into the likes of Speedway Racer, into the likes of Jordan, into the likes of O'Steven down in P6, and now can Jordan get a good exit here? Oh, he's got a much better exit. He's going to tuck to the inside line. He's going to open his DRS. They're going to be side by side as we run down in towards turn number 1. O'Steven is there as well as we have his beautiful helicopter camera. O'Steven down the inside in turn number 1 as we go through turn number 2. They're still side by side as they approach the S's. Around the outside goes O'Steven, but unable to get that done. Small bit of contact, I believe it was, between Speedway Racer and O'Steven, but great battle in there through the first couple of corners between O'Steven and Speedway Racer. Jordan though gets the move done. Up into P4 goes the Williams, and now he is on the back of Acorn, the man sitting in P3, and the pressure now from ERT Jordan. MXite just up the road as well. Kev Rusky, a nice 3-second gap now to the man in second place. So Kev, 3-second gap in the lead. Currently controlling this race. MXite dropping back towards the likes of Acorn. I believe this time next lap we will be seeing Acorn getting a hold of that DRS. Speedway Racer there, very late on the break, closes up to the back of Jordan, and a big moment there for O'Steven, so he's not going to be close enough to make a move. And now let's see if Speedway Racer gets close enough. I don't think he will. And look at Jack Craig closing in on this train as well. He is just floating there around that 1 second. And you would think with DRS these guys would be able to pull away, but as it currently stands, Jack doing a very good job to close up. As Speedway Racer gets all close to the back of Jordan there, almost tapping the rear wing of the Williams. And as we climb up the hill through Dunlop Curve, Speedway Racer putting the Williams under immense pressure as we go through the Degners. Julie Show with the new fastest lap. It's a 31.7. Big moment for Speedway Racer. Not going to be able to take advantage of that is O'Steven, but he might get a good exit here. Maybe put a little challenge in, but no. Speedway Racer gets a better exit there. Acorn now within that 1 second of M Excite. 3.2 seconds the gap for the race lead. Kev Rusky has controlled it thus far. He is out in the lead. 3.3 seconds the gap. Acorn floating around that 1 second region. He's now within 1 second. He has used all of his battery though, and you can see that flashing red light from the POV of ERT Jordan, the man in P4. He can see that red light and he knows that he is going to be severely lacking in terms of ERS. And will Jordan use his ERS? As in the background, I'm sorry we missed that, as O'Steven managed to get through on Speedway Racer. We did miss that in the background. There is a yellow flag coming out of Spoon. I believe that is N89 losing the car there, so he drops behind Speed Newgarden and Jules Show. So he's dropping down the order is the other Aston Martin, while his teammate is up here in a comfortable race lead. And Excite now is going to be under pressure because Acorn is within that 1 second. In fact, yeah, he's just dipped back within that 1 second. O'Steven dropping away from Jordan, needs to get himself back within the 1 second, and Jordan looks like he's gone a bit too deep into the hairpin, and that has definitely brought back O'Steven in. Jordan getting a good exit though out of the hairpin, but he went way too deep, so definitely lost time there. O'Steven now through Spoon Curve. All about the exit here for the Alpine. And that's a good exit there from O'Steven. He's going to be able to keep all that. Jack Craig down in P7 as well. Speed Newgarden has lost it. Oh my god, he's around underneath the bridge. Will this trigger another virtual safety car as he is waiting for cars to go past? Still caution here. Yellow flag conditions, but it looks like it's not going to trigger a safety car, so a sign of relief. Kev can breathe a sign of relief that his gap for the race lead will not be disintegrated by a safety car. As Speedway Racer sees the flash of red on the back of that Alpine, and he knows that O'Steven is hindered in terms of having ERS, but a big moment for Speedway Racer, and he catches a massive snap coming up Dunlop Curve. He absolutely saved that McLaren out of a big incident, and fair play, good reactions there from White Racer to get that save. Jordan going deep once again, trying to get a good run out of the corner, and Acorn without any ERS, he's less than 10%. Honestly, if I was Jordan, with the amount of ERS advantage I have, I wouldn't mind using a bit to try and get through on Acorn now. And the run up to 130R, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He is closing in, and he is going to, he's going to stick behind Acorn through 130R. I thought he's going to have a little look down the inside. In fact, Acorn will try and cover the inside to the Casio triangle. All about the exit here, and it looks like it's a great exit from ERT Jordan. The Williams will be able to fly past the Red Bull though, and that is into P3 for ERT Jordan. And with the ERS advantage that the Williams has, it shouldn't be too long before he's putting M Excite under pressure. Jack Craig now well within this train, getting a bit of dirty air and understeer through the S's as he tries to keep with this train in front. Speedway Racer is the car directly in front of him, and that is going to be an issue for Jack Craig. He's seen many times Speedway Racer have a moment or two, and with those moments Speedway Racer has shown fantastic ability to catch his car. But if you're the driver directly behind, you don't want to be that close to Speedway Racer, because you don't know if he's going to run out of luck in terms of catching that car. As Stephen using a little bit of his ERS, try and close in on Acorn here for P4. Acorn less than 10%, Stephen less than 10%. Speedway Racer sitting on around 20%, same as Jack Craig, but Jack Craig is out of DRS range. He is floating around there. Excite into the pits. He goes, and that releases the medium runners, and now we're going to see if ERT Jordan has the pace to eat into this 5.3 second gap that Kev Rusky has managed to build. And looks like Jack Craig has made a bit of a larger mistake. Actually, no, sorry. Speedway Racer came into the pits. Excite on a set of the medium compound tyres, so he's thinking he can get these mediums to the end. There's an interesting strategy from Excite. We'll see if it pays out for him, but he'll have a fantastic undercut. I don't think they're going to get to the end though. Stephen on the back of Acorn for P3 now. There's the battle to keep an eye on, as Excite is closing on to the back of Ryan Berry for P7. Fresh mediums versus 11 lap old worn mediums. Not going to be much of a competition, but Ryan Berry can play this tactically, just position his car in the right places. But Stephen on the back of Acorn, who is going to dive into the pits and go for an undercut here. So Stephen there, late braking, as I thought he was going to dive off into the pits here. Stephen stays out. Jack Craig though into the pits, and that is a big call for him, because he's trying to get himself back into this fight, and this is technically a fight for P2. As we got Excite, this should be a relatively simple overtake here, as he overtakes Ryan Berry up into P6 goes Excite, and you see Speedway Racer coming out ahead of Jack Craig. The gap 1.8, 1.9 seconds the gap, but Speedway Racer does have a time penalty to his name. Up ahead we have Stephen still close to the back of Acorn, but not close enough to make a move. Both of these guys on equal amounts of ERS. Jordan on a hefty amount, and more than Kev at the moment. Jordan has to his name. It's all going to be about the second stint, whether Jordan can eat into that time that Kev has built, because a lot of this was built while Jordan was making his way through the field, but now he's managed to get himself through the field. The gap hasn't grown, and it hasn't decreased massively either. Kev into the pits. Jordan going to stay out. Acorn stays out. Stephen stays out. Tony should jump Kev here, so it's going to be an interesting one to see if Excite's going to be able to jump him, as now he is going to fly all the way down in towards turn 1. Kev has been let out of his pit lane, and you can see him, he's just come out, just out the road, right there, right in front of Excite, and Excite will have his tyres warmed up, so he can potentially put in a challenge immediately on Kev Rusky. And remember, it is mediums versus the hard compound tyre as well, so you'll have the grip advantage. You'll have the tyre advantage. But does he have the ability to make the overtake and get the stick? That is the question. Excite all over the back now of Kev Rusky. That is how big the undercut was for Excite. He massively gained on Kev there. Oh, so it looks like, yeah, I saw a little a dot that was off at turn 1. It was Speed Risky, lost his car, was around at turn 1, and that has triggered a full course safety car here on lap 14. This is absolutely incredible. Now Kev Excite have to stick to a delta, as do Jordan, Acorn and O'Steven, but they are able to pit under safety car, so they get a shortened pit stop. The question is, where are they going to come out relative to the likes of Excite and Kev Rusky here? They do have a delta they have to stick to. Oh, Stephen and Tony going for a set of soft tyres. That is very, very interesting. Jordan coming out just behind these two. As Jack makes the undercut work, and even with the safety car, he comes out ahead of O'Steven. But O'Steven on a set of soft tyres, he should be able to get through relatively quickly. Both of the Ferraris now ahead of Speed Y Racer, and he's coming to the pits and chucked on a set of mediums, so he has opted to go to the end on the yellow old medium compound tyres. Got a lot of guys to overtake, but he'll have the grip advantage over the hards. He'll definitely be able to get to the end, and the soft tyres should wear out towards the end of the race as well. He does have a time penalty. I want to see what our penalty is, and it's a 3-second. Oh my god, Speed Risky, 11 seconds of time penalties. That is not what you want to see. Lap 15 of 27. It is a full course safety car. Kev Rusky is the race leader. He does have Excite right behind him on relatively fresh mediums, going to be directly behind him. And then of course we have ERT Jordan in P3, set of the hards. Then both of the Red Bulls, Liner Stern in 4th and 5th, Akon and Jack Craig. The Alpine of FRL O'Steven in P6, with both of the Ferraris, Liner Stern in Tony and Ryan Berry. P9 Speed Y Racer for the McLarens. Julie Shaw in the Alpha Tauri in P10, and then of course out to the top 10. Wasabi Sniver in P11, Speed Risky in P12, N89R_A in P13, and Speed Newgarden in the second McLaren in P14. And that is the grid as it stands. Lap 16 of 27. Still waiting on cars to close up to the back of the pack. And we wait to see who's going to be able to come out on top here for round number 1 of season 11 here in VSL Tier 2. My name is of course Ivan Mike. Going to be making sure that the action gets the coverage that it needs. It's going to be a very interesting restart, that is for sure. As Excite on those mediums, you hope that the mediums now will definitely be the tyre to be on. as we wait for N8, 9 and Speed Newgarden to close out to the back of the grid. Well, the back of the pack, I apologise. Back of the pack as we go through Spoon. We wait for the safety car to come in to get us underway once again for what will be around 10 laps of green flag racing. This has brought all the drivers back into it. We have a very varied split in strategy between these guys. Speed Newgarden coming through Spoon Curve. Will it be a late safety car call to come into the pits, or will we have one more lap of the safety car? Yep, we will have one more lap of safety car conditions, so we will have exactly 10 laps remaining in this race. Kev Rusky built up a fantastic lead in the first stint, came into the pits, chucked on a set of the hard compound tyres, and then the safety car was deployed, and that completely eroded the gap that he had built up. Excite went for a early undercut, putting on a set of the mediums, and he actually was able to gain that time on Kev relatively easily. I mean, he only pitted a few laps earlier, but Excite making the undercut work for him, got straight onto the back of Kev Rusky. But that safety car for Jordan, Acorn, O'Stephen and Tony definitely have brought those four drivers back into play here. Because I believe the likes of Jordan and Acorn would have come out behind Jack Craig, and obviously Speedway Racer was there as well with Jack Craig until he had a moment himself. Speed Risky is the driver that went around, and of course he was the one that triggered the safety car. But yeah, Jordan Acorn and O'Stephen, while they would have been definitely behind the likes of Kev and Excite without the safety car has allowed them to actually stay ahead of Jack Craig, which is big. Speedway Racer came into the pits to make sure that he was on the mediums to the end of the race. The safety car will come in now this lap, and now Kev is the pace setter. He controls the pace. He is the virtual Burt Mulder, and now Excite has to be on high alert, ready for when that Aston Martin bolts away as we go through the Casio Triangle. And on the exit here, this is going to be where Kev will go. And yep, Kev has gone, and he has actually managed to get a decent run. But look in the background, Stephen, Jack Craig side by side in towards turn one as Jordan and Excite side by side. And Tony's retired from the race. We have not seen what's gone on there. We was on board with the battle for the top places as Jordan gets through on Excite. Excite drops down to P4. A safety car has come out again. Tony is out of this race, and I'm not sure what happened to him. Of course, O'Stephen has dropped down as well. Remember, he was trying to overtake Jack Craig in towards turn number one. So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. Maybe a small bit of contact between the Red Bull and the Alpine. Maybe contact between those two has affected Tony there. I'm not 100% sure, but we can only speculate as we didn't get a good view of it. In the background, we were too busy looking at the battle between Jordan and Excite for the battle for P2, but of course that allowed Acorn to get himself through up into P3 as well, with Excite running off a bit wide through turns 1 and going a little bit off track, and allowed Acorn to slide through up into P3. Steven into the pit, as is Joel Shaw. In fact, let's have a look at the Steven, see if he gets a front wing change. Yes, he does. So there was contact there. Front wing change for Steven. He does get a fresh front wing on his car, and he only loses the 1 spot to Joel in the pit lane. So Steven, there definitely was contact. He definitely got damage. So it is an incident that may get looked at after the race. Of course, lap 19 of 27. We are under safety car conditions for the second time in this race. Tony, unfortunately, DNF here for race number 1. As we have Jacko in the chat saying, "My fault, my bad, will accept any penalties." I'm presuming Jacko is the Red Bull of Jack Craig. Obviously, we didn't have a good view of it on stream of what was going on. Of course, we saw that Steven was side by side with you on the approach in towards turn number 1, but we didn't see what happened and what led to the DNF of Tony in P14 now, with a DNF to his name in the opening round. We didn't quite see what was going on, but we are now under safety car conditions, and it's going to be very intriguing. Lap 19, we're going to be going on to lap 20 now. Kev Rusky, in terms of pace, he has controlled this race throughout its entirety, and the only person that hasn't really lost any time to him when he got into P2 was ERT Jordan. Jordan might be the only guy at the moment who can put in a real fight with Kev here, because Jordan looked like he had the pace to keep with Kev. Also, you got Acorn that could be keeping along with him. Excite on those mediums. Like, let's not forget, this is, I believe, around 5 laps under the safety car for those mediums. So even though they're 8 laps old, they are not 8 laps worn. As we got Lewis Craig in the chat saying, definitely just got a puncher and lost it and took out Tony. Well, was there a puncher involved? No, surely not. Surely not a puncher, not in the safety car. Like, everyone just came into the pits under the safety car. Like, surely wasn't a puncher. Of course, discussing the unfortunate DNF of Tony in the chat, and we wait to see what actually has gone on there. Of course, that might be one that heads to the stewards, we never know, but for Tony, it ends his night early, and for race number 1 of season 11, it will go down as a DNF. Safety car in this lap. Kev once again going to be the man that controls the pace, but this time instead of Excite behind him, he has ERT Jordan, and we're going to stay on board with Jordan to wait for the moment where Kev goes. And there we go. Yep, Kev has gone. He hasn't caught Jordan napping. Meanwhile, Jack Craig is all over the back of Excite. Is he going to have a little look around the outside? Oh, he got the back out of that one. He had a little peek though. Fair play, he had a peek. Now, let's see if Jordan has the pace to keep with Kev here. As we fly through the S's, looks like Speed Newgarden has managed to get himself through and up into P12. So the McLaren making moves in the midfield. We got Speed Y Racer all over Ryan Berry for P6, and of course we got Jack Craig all over the back of Excite. Speed Whiskey getting through on Wasabinava in P9 now, so Speed Whiskey up into P8 as White Racer around the outside. Oh, a bit of contact between the Ferrari and the Red Bull, and the McLaren is going to try to get the move done, but he got squeezed onto the outside there. And these three are getting very racy with each other indeed. Speed Y Racer trying to get a good exit here. If he can get onto his ERS and get a good exit, he might have the opportunity to go for a move around the outside of 130R. And in fact, no, Jack Craig's going to tuck in behind before the corner of 130R. I know, Excite, oh my god, we just saw front wing fly up into the camera. Excite out of this race. Safety car deployed once again. In quick succession, we've had 3 safety cars deployed. Ryan Berry dives into the pits, as does Wasabi Nava into the pit lane. Both of them going for fresh soft compound tyres. This could be a very acute strategy here from those two, the Ferrari and the Mercedes. As it currently stands, I mean, both the Ferrari and the Mercedes, both of the drivers are outside of the top 10. Of course, DNS for a pair of them, and the other two outside of the top 10. So we are in the safety car once again here in Tier 2. Kev Rusky still leads the race, and of course he has led the majority of this race. The only time where he wasn't in the lead was when he came into the pit lane, but he retook it under the first safety car. Since then we've had a further 2 safety cars be deployed, one for the DNF of Tony at the safety car restart, and of course Excite DNFing just moments ago on the approach to the Castillo triangle. And not entirely sure what happened with Excite, as we just saw his front wing absolutely fly up in towards the camera. The safety car will take us on to lap 23 of 27. So lap 24 we will be going racing once again. So there'll be 4 laps of racing, 1 opportunity with DRS. I'll tell you what, while we're here, let's have a look at position changes. And let's see who has been like the big gainers in this race as a whole. So we got Speed Y Racer from his starting position down in P11. He's managed to gain himself 7 positions, and 6 positions gained for Jordan, who in the chat earlier said he had a driver in his way on his flying lap in the S's. And Julie Show from the back of the grid coming up to P8. Ryan Berry, the big loser in terms of position losses, down 8 places. And of course, Emmerich Sight, who is out of the race, he's also down 8 places. The only drivers that have maintained their lead, maintained their position, is Kev, O'Stephen, and Speed New Garden. Fastest lap currently in the hands of Julie Show, a 1:31.7 for the Alpha Tauri. Safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, so we'll have 4 laps of racing remaining. Who is going to come out on top? Get your predictions in the chat now. Who is your favourite to take victory here in this race? Will it be Kev? Will it be Jordan? Can Acorn get himself a victory? Can even Speedway Racer, Jack Craig, Risky, can any of them get a victory here for round number 1? Kev controls the pace. Jordan is there lying and waiting. And this time it's a different strategy from Kev, and it's allowed Jordan to possibly go for the lead, and he has actually gone for the lead, and he's in the lead as we got in the background. Speedway Racer making contact with Acorn, going off into the grass. They were 2x2 like Noah's Ark going through there, and that is not the way a Speedway Racer wanted it to go. Acorn maintains P3. We got Jack Craig in P4, side by side with Speed Risky. Speed Risky in the S's. Fantastic overtake there as O'Stephen now on the back of Jack Craig, looking for a big result here. Jordan into the lead of this race on the safety car restart, gets himself ahead of Kev on the restart. Fantastic stuff from the Williams driver. Acorn under pressure he was from Speedway Racer on the restart, and a little bit of contact between them as Julie Show gets through and up into P6, getting past the Alpine of O'Stephen, as O'Stephen's going to try and fight it but has to concede that position. And now it's all about the exit, as we got the horrible audio glitch of the car engines there, which is not what we like to see. Speed Risky under pressure from Jack Craig. I'm going to try and keep it on broadcast camera so we don't hear the engines that bad. And Kev all over the back of Jordan. We're on lap 25 of 27. The Williams has taken the lead. Kev has lost the lead for the first time. He has a challenger. Meanwhile, the battle in the midfield. Julie Show on those soft tyres, closing right up to the back of Jack Craig in the S's, but unable to get a move done. Has to settle in behind for the time being. Kev still keeping with Jordan. Both similar amounts of ERS as well, 15% to the better for Jordan, as Jack Craig and Julie there in a battle as N8 has gone around in the back. But look at this, Stephen gonna try to go for a double overtake here. Oh, he just couldn't get the run to have a look down the inside, but he gets through on Julie Show, as Julie Show unable to get past Jack Craig. These three are fighting, and I absolutely cannot stand the audio glitch there, as Julie Show is looking to put O'Stephen under pressure, as O'Stephen trying to go around the outside in the Casio triangle, and he gets it done, and that has compromised Jack Craig there versus Julie Show, and Julie's going to try and get through as well. There's a Ferrari off in the background of Ryan Berry and Speed Newgarden's around. Both of those two have made contact with each other. Julie Show gets ahead of Jack Craig. Up in the P6 goes the Alpha Tauri now, and it goes a bit deep, and now Jack Craig's back through, and up in the P6 is absolutely it's absolute chaos right now, trying to keep up with everything. As his overtakes going on left, right, and centre. You got Jordan still ahead of Kev Rusky for the race lead. They have a 2.6 second gap to Acorn in behind. He's under pressure from Speed Risky. As, oh my god, Speed Risky there going off the track, and oh my god, as he comes back on, almost loses the car, and oh, Steven now up into P4, as, oh, there's a bit of contact there between Speed Risky and Julie Show. That looked like it looked like contact on the stream, but possible decent contact, to be fair. It didn't look like full contact was made in terms of the stream, but definitely felt it there for Speed Risky, and around he goes. Julie Show obviously under pressure from Jack Craig, could be under investigation after this race as well. As now we focus on the race lead, there is nothing else to focus on here, as it is Kev Rusky versus Jordan as we go on to the final lap here at Japan. Kev Rusky closing in on ERT Jordan, but he's not close enough to go for the move into turn number 1. Now it's all going to be about keeping with the Williams, get a good run out of Spoon to maybe have a go into the Casio Triangle. Or if he does get a good run out of the Deckners, maybe have a little look at the hairpin. He gets a good run at Dunlop Curve, but he's not going to risk a move into the Deckners. Is not the most ideal place to make an overtake happen. As now Kev Rusky, is he going to have a little look at the hairpin? No, he's going to settle in behind the Williams for the time being, as the Williams gets a little wiggle on the back, and now Kev Rusky is going to use a little bit of ERS to try and get a move in towards Spoon, but he's got to sit behind for the time being. That was all about the exit of Spoon here. Can Kev Rusky get the exit that he needs to make this a fantastic end to the race? Kev now using his ERS, he's closing in, he's in the slipstream. Is he going to be able to get this done, as he's right underneath that rear wing heading in towards the Casio Triangle? He's going to try to go around the outside, he can't get it done. Brilliant defending from ERT Jordan, and he is going to take the first win of the season. ERT Jordan with the victory. Kev Rusky in second place. Acorn will come home to complete the podium. Oh, Stephen in P4. Julie Show in P5. Jack Craig will come home in P6. Wasab Neva in P7 will get jumped by Speed Y Racer. Speed Risky is out of the race, so that will be P10 for N89R, as Ryan Berry will cross the line and he'll finish in P9. We wait for, oh, actually, oh, Ryan Berry, no, he did cross the line. He did cross the line, so yeah, he will be classified in P9. Aston Martin will come over the line to collect. Oh, no. Ryan Berry actually retired a little bit too early, I think, before the line, and yeah, he's been very strange what has gone on there, because I saw Ryan Berry cross the line, so very strange how it has done that. ERT Jordan gets driver of the day from the in-game fans, and honestly, in terms of driver of the day, there's only 2 drivers I can actually award it to. One of them is that man, the Williams of ERT Jordan. The other one is, of course, Kev. Kev was so dominant in that race until the safety cars came out. The safety cars completely nullified the advantage that he had built, and of course the final safety car, the jump that Jordan was able to get on Kev to get the lead of the race and to maintain the lead of the race at the end. Testament to these two. They were a class above the rest of the grid in terms of pace here tonight, and Jordan does pick the fastest lap up as well, so we'll run you through the order one more time. It's ERT Jordan who takes victory with the fastest lap. in P2. Acorn rounds out the podium in P3. O'Stephen in P4. Julie Shaw in P5. Jack Craig in P6. Speed Y Racer in P7 with Wasabniva in P8. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting. So Ryan Berry crossed the line in P9, but the game retired him and he was jumped by N89R and Speed Newgarden. So I'm not sure what will happen in terms of that, but that is the way it goes. Speed Risky and MXI and Tony, the three DNFers here tonight. Not a good way to begin their campaign here in season 11 of tier 2 in the VSL. But of course that brings an end to round number 1, and of course with that brings an end to the stream as well. Of course next week you will have your regular commentator in Rando coming in to the commentary box for tier 2. So until next week guys, I've been Mike, and I shall catch you next week for what is second race of the season, is of course Australia. So we go from Suzuka to Melbourne for round number 2. Until then guys, good night and have a fantastic night.